Hello to all my friends out there. Hi, you guys. I like to have never gotten this video together, but that is okay. What I like to do is I like to pretend you guys are in the kitchen with me. Like when I was a kid, I used to be in the kitchen with my grandmother and my aunts, and we'd be cooking or talking. So this video is break out of the consumerism prison. Get 1 month ahead of your bills and save money. So you might be thinking, how in the world am I supposed to do that? Everything is so expensive. Well, everybody has their own methods. My methods are tried and true. Okay, so I've been making a lot of stuff out of milk because I bought this organic milk for $1.97. So, you know, I had to cook a lot of milk stuff. And it's expired 2 days now. So it's okay. But it's got to be done today. And I also had these tomatoes. I started buying all the vegetables and fruits in big cans, and this is an example. So all that I have done so far is I put the tomatoes in a pan, and for some reason soup is so expensive, but you can make this into spaghetti sauce. So let's see, I want to add some milk. Usually when I make tomato soup I add milk, so let's see, I think it's gonna need about let me see. 1 cup looks good. Oh, this will work out good. Uh-oh. I think I could use another ½ cup. So 1½ cups. So I took 2 tomatoes out to make the soup I had for dinner last night. That was the best soup I ever made. I'm going to give you guys the recipe again. So all that's in here is cooked down tomatoes, and this is like for making sauerkraut. I finally found one of these. So I've been crushing my tomatoes as they cook down. So now I have some, I like coarse sea salt for pickling, but you know, I have a little left in there, sugar, and then black pepper. You cannot lose a big bowl of black, uh-oh. One of my bagels. Okay, now where is that? Oh, it's over here. I have to get this. I have to have this. All right, here it is. All right, so I have some homemade butter sour cream, and I made a lot today because I wanted to use the milk down. And so what I wanted to see if I could do is I had made a bowl about this big, so I'm going to add like a nice little amount since I have plenty. Why not? So I'll add a little salt. Oh, I want to put my butter on my bagel before it cools down. These are the best bagels. I got these at the food pantry, and I want to talk to you guys about that because this goes into how we're going to get out of the jail of consumerism. So, you can eat, if I had been stockpiling 6 boxes of crackers, this is good, homemade cream cheese, or you can use it just like butter. And then I have some homemade peanut butter, a little bit. Now this is something well worth learning to make right here. I usually eat, when I make soup, I eat crackers and peanut butter. And at the same time, I like to eat cheese and crackers, any kind of meat and crackers. So this is very tasty. I made this one out of roasted peanuts from Dollar Tree. And if the peanuts are already roasted, you don't have to roast them. Just put them in the blender, blend them. All right, now you can just a little bit. You can put basil in this if you want, and salt. Okay. Now I can't find my big. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook this down, and then I am going to freeze this, because there's no way I can eat this much soup. So I want to show you, in case you didn't see the video. All right. This was the soup I made last night when this is curry rice. This doesn't have any mushrooms on because I used all of that to put in my, I used all the mushrooms in my stuffed butter. No, this is spaghetti squash. Look what I did at lunchtime. I ate the rest of the spaghetti sauce. Okay, so that is a good situation. I'm going to use this rest of this milk in a minute. How to get through 1 month. How to survive consumerism and get 1 month ahead in expenses. Okay, I want to tell you guys again, consumerism. It's really kind of important to realize what these things are. So I wrote it somewhere in a bunch of messy notes. I wanted to read you the exact definition. These notebooks are out of control. Consumerism is the idea that if the people bought more things, they would have a higher standard of living, and furthermore, they should want these things. So they would be working hard all the time to buy things, to get the better life, to consume goods. Like with the money they earn, they want to spend it, and then that stimulates the economy. That's why seniors are a problem, because they stop spending a lot of times. So, okay, so we know consumerism is good to a certain extent, but not when it starts to get out of hand. How to get 1 month ahead. Okay, so start with the basic expenses of rent, utilities, car, gasoline, food, and cash reserve. Okay, with rent, you go, well, I can't save a whole day rent. In the average rent is mortgage, they average it all out, $2,266. I cannot save $2,666. And I see people do a lot of things, and to get out of this debt trip. Like I watched one elderly woman that worked 8 years driving Uber to save money and get out of debt. And one of my customers, he was older than I am, and he worked 10 years to get a down payment for a house. So you can do that. But let's think about this. $2,266 a year is approximately $40 a week. Think about 1/2 of that. $1,133 would be for 2 weeks. $566.50 for 1 week, and that is still a lot. But how about $80.93? So you would start with 1 day. As soon as you had 1 day, then the next month you only need, say if there's $31, $30. Then say if you were to do that the next month, then you only need $28. So it's the little by little approach, and it works the best anyway. If you try to go, here's my tomato soup. It can be margarine. It doesn't have to be butter. I'm going to give you my recipe again. What I wanted to know is, could I make the homemade butter using my homemade cottage cheese? Usually, you know, I would drain it and get the curds out and make it right away. So I had made 4 cups of cottage cheese, and I thought there's no way I'm going to eat this, so I want to freeze it. All right. So I froze it, and then I will take it out of this container and put it in a baggie. So I'll have, butter is getting expensive, but if you make it yourself, it's not. And then I had egg whites again, so I saved the egg yolk and I freeze them. And then when I need an egg in baking, I just use the egg yolks. It works fine. All right, so now let me find my soup that I made yesterday for you guys. So one thing is, eat all the leftovers for sure. That's going to help more than anything you can imagine. Here's the peanut butter recipe. Let me give this to you. And start out, you need some nuts and some fish to get your complete amino acids. All right, now, all right. Well, I'm sure I'll come across it. Oh, here it is. Okay, so yesterday I wanted to stuff my, I got this squash at the food pantry. So it was 2 cups water, 1 vegetable bouillon cube, 2 tablespoons butter, 1 tablespoon dry onion, 1 teaspoon curry powder, and 3 tablespoons rice. Okay, I put all the spices in the bouillon cube in the water and brought that to a boil. Then I added the 3 tablespoons rice. 1 celery stick, 1 canned tomato. So I had 2 tomatoes. That's why I have this left. And 1/2 cup mushrooms. So what I did is I scooped my soup or my rice out of my soup, and I saved this delicious soup. This is one of the best ones. What is really good, if you have meat, any kind, sausages, chicken, anything, you can put that in there, but I'm trying to go a little bit more vegan. And then I just cooked it down. So get this recipe, and I got this out of the Rosicrucian vegetarian cookbook. Okay, so you're trying to come up with one day rent, $80, or yeah. So if you could go $20 a week in a year, you'd save $1,000, and then you would have 1/2 of a month of no, you would have 4 months rent. No, you'd have 2 months rent eventually. When you start getting some money ahead, that is how you're going to be able to save money and prosper. Okay, number 2, utilities. Okay, they say the average utility is $100 to $150. Okay, in my case, living in California, that is extremely low. But what you would do is you would say, okay, the utilities, it's not like out of the realm of possibility that I could save $100 or $150. And what you can do is pay your utilities in advance. So you'd pay $300, and that would free up some money. Car, hopefully, is paid for. Gasoline, I spend $50 a week. That's $7.15 per day. Food, they're saying $50 a week. Say EBT, And so I'm eating my leftovers. I'm going to the food pantry. I'm just being as thrifty as I possibly can to keep a control over my standard of living. Okay, I got something nice that I really liked at the food pantry, and it was some kind of sparkling water. Here it is. So today I said, let me try this Walmart brand. I think it was about 80 cents. It's not sparkling water. It's like, oh, it is sparkling water, but it's sugar, but 0 calories. This stuff is not too bad. Anything that keeps me off of the caffeine. So, okay, so I'm willing to try it. If I was to cut my groceries by going to the food pantry, that frees up $200, which pays for my gasoline. Well, it would pay for my utilities and my gasoline. So just by making these small, I mean, one thing is, it's a good thing to be humble and not lofty, especially if you have no particular reason to be lofty, like if you're on a fixed income. Okay, now, when I was doing hair, like say if you'd have a good day, right? Say if you make $300, you couldn't say, oh, I've got $300. No, you have to divide that by 30. So what do you really have? You have $10. That's what you have. For one day, you have $10. So with your tax return, divide by 12. So the average tax return is $2,845.81. So you have $237.51 per month. So you're probably paying that back this year in taxes. So it's just like this ongoing thing. You get your tax return, you spend it, you pay your taxes, you know, and then stop using the credit cards. That's easier said than done. Okay, so now today, this is talking back. I know some of you don't want to hear this, but I got a cheddar crunch with apples. I can't believe this. My nose is running. Okay, sorry. Technical difficulties. I have seen these, and I probably could have bought thousands of these marked down. And so when I got home from the gym, I was really starving, and it was really good. It was carrots, apples, mild cheddar cheese, and pretzels. But I didn't eat the cheese because, see this little piece of cheese? This is about 1 ounce cheese. So I mentioned to you guys about the Oslo diet. Was a Norwegian doctor came up with this diet because the children were very malnourished. I think it was around the Depression. Okay, so it was wheat with bread and butter, and then it was a chunk of cheese, probably about that size, maybe twice that size. Wheat, bread, and butter, salad, maybe 3 vegetables. It was like turnips, parsnips. In America, we don't eat that much parsnips. Carrots, cucumbers, turnips, whatever they had, a bottle of milk, and a piece of fruit. So you can cut your cheese up and, you know, have your bowl of soup. Okay, so today I had the Cheddar Crunch Apple Snack Tray. Those are $3.49, and I had you know, some of the spaghetti squash, and that was $4.78. So that was around $8.23 worth of food, and I guarantee you I would never have bought that. But down here, we're trying to save $7.15 for gas. So there you go. That's your gas money. All you had to do was go to the food pantry. Now out here, the food pantry is good. So tomorrow I will eat that other half of the squash. Then I had 3 egg whites after I ate this. Time went on. I had 3 egg whites and 2 pieces of bacon because I had a lot of bacon because I had bought Black Label bacon, and then I had another package, so I had 4 pieces of bacon. I ate that. I crumbled 2 up and put it in the egg whites because I had a lot of eggs because the pantry had given me eggs. So just by being super thrifty, it's been, let's see, I went to the pantry on Saturday, so Saturday night, Sunday, Monday, because you know I don't like to spend money on the weekends, Tuesday, and now tomorrow is Wednesday. Okay, so now I mentioned to you guys that I made yogurt, and I went to the food pantry and I got bananas, so I thought I was going to make some banana bread, and there's plenty of bananas for that. But then I remembered I had this milk that I need to drink. So what I do, I'm going to make a smoothie. What I do is I freeze the smoothies, and then the next day, or whenever I feel like it, I'm just going to use 1/2. I got 3 bananas, and I could have gotten 6. So my Greek yogurt turned out really good. All right. So I'm just going to have about 3/4 of a cup of my yogurt because I got milk. So you know, the pantries, if you go to one that doesn't give you, they don't give you meat, a lot of times they give you dairy. Let me make sure this stuff, is this expired? I don't know if this one's 6. Let me taste it before I. Okay, I need 3/4 cups. You can use 1 cup if you want a bigger smoothie and a whole banana. But I mentioned to you guys, I'm not that much of a fruit drinker. So my son bought me this really nice blender, and I have really used it. And if you break any of the pieces, you can order new ones. Okay. Oh. So you can freeze any kind of fruit, even canned fruit. And then you have fruit and you make your yogurt. You know, there's these places, these juice places. And it's easy to make these juice drinks. So, just being super cheap. Okay, now, I know there's people out there that are hearing what I'm saying. You know, I would try to help people for many years to no avail generally. But then a lot of times I became aware that they were doing some of that stuff that I had mentioned, like going to the food pantry. I took them there so they knew where it was, and then at a later date they decided to be reasonable. So then I have my tomato soup. And they took their friends too. And I good, 3 times more blessings for me. Okay, now 1 Greek yogurt. This time I bought the yogurts 3 for 97 cents at Grocery Outlet. Take out of the refrigerator to make it room temperature, 3 to 4 cups of milk. Okay, at the same time, you take your yogurt out to cool it to room temperature. You start boiling a big pan of water and you start cooking your milk so that the milk is boiling, you know, with bubbles almost, but not boiling. If you boil it for 20 to 30 minutes carefully, then your yogurt's going to be a lot thicker. Okay, and then when your big pan of water boils, cover it with foil and set it in the corner, cover with foil, to create a warm environment in your oven. Anything, a cooler, whatever you have. Oh, but you're not turning your oven on. Your boiling water is creating. Some people, when they make it in coolers, they heat like big glass jars. Okay, then you once your milk's been on the verge of boiling for about 30-45 minutes, take it off, and I put it in a big bowl, and when it cools to about room temperature, I stir the yogurt in that's room temperature, and the milk is like a warm bath, and then I put it in jars and I put it in the back of the oven, and then I cover the jars, I cover them with foil, and then I cover everything with a towel. And then before I go to sleep, I reheat the water one more time and slide it back in there, and I leave it until the next day. So if you can make this out of powdered milk, out of shelf-stable milk. It doesn't work as good with evaporated milk for some odd reason, but I think it still will work. Evaporated milk's kind of expensive though, whereas your other milk is not. Okay, so there you have a smoothie. This is good. Pea soup, corn soup, clam chowder, oyster stew. Just make potato soup and put a can of oysters or clams, the juice and all. All right. So guaranteed, I would not have spent $8.23 on lunch. I probably would have gone to McDonald's and gotten a free sandwich. But last month, for some reason, I bought all kinds of various frozen hamburgers. I bought those pancakes and sausage and breakfast sandwiches and burritos. Some of them I bought from Dollar Tree, and some of them I bought from Walmart. And I want to mention something. Here is the chicken sandwiches from Walmart. They're about $2 each. So by purchasing this stuff in advance, you're going to have food in the house. Because if you go to the food pantries that don't give you meat, and you're a meat eater like I am, you're going to get very, very hungry on this food pantry. It's good, but if you're a meat eater, you're going to get really hungry. That happened to me about 3 or 4 days. I just ate massive amounts of meat. I told you guys the Quaker Oats news wrong. Okay, what happened was one of the Quaker Oats companies closed down, and it was 500 people lost their jobs. And I told you guys it was 100, and the salmonella was caused by some sewage runoff. So you want to be stocked up on this kind of stuff. Is going to drive the price of the food up. So okay, so this trying to get 1 day rent, then try to go for 3 days and 5 days and then a week. And it's the same thing on food storage, utilities. I'd say utilities, gas, and food would be 3 of the easiest ones, especially if you go to the food pantry. And then on the cash reserve, $20 a week is $1,000 a year. That comes up to about $3 a day. Or think about $100 a month. Okay. So, now. I shop for extreme markdowns all the time. I try to find a little stockpiling food because I know the day is going to come where I am going to need it. A lot of people seem kind of fully convinced that nothing bad is going to happen. I've been pretty well off, and then when I was divorced, I wasn't. And so I know what happens is when you start running out of money and resources, everything starts breaking down. One thing I was shopping for was socks, because I used to buy them at the 99-cent only. So I thought, oh good, I'll go in there and I'll buy all the socks. Somebody beat me to it. I couldn't find socks. I used to buy them for $2 3 pair. The best deal I could find was Walmart, $9.98 for 3 pair. Okay, I bought a gallon of milk for $1.97, and I bought 2 pounds of bacon, 97 cents each. Now, things to go without. I mean, there's things, you know, not misery making. Like I'm not going to use newspaper as opposed to toilet paper unless it's an emergency. I use newspapers for the bird cage, but I want to stockpile now, and I rolled my newspaper up and I use them to keep the water out of my garage during the hurricane. So I'm going without car washes. Out here we can get a month unlimited car wash for $15, about $3.50 a week, but I don't do that either. The holiday decorations, I'm using them over. The last one I had, my tree didn't even have any silver on it. It was awful. Seeds and dirt, I'm saving my seeds out of my food. Oil paintings, I'm trying to find. I got a nice carpet at the thrift store, and I get my pillows there too. Okay, all right, I have a good recipe. All right, let me give you the, I want to give you, this is some important recipes. All right, this one is the butter. So 4.5 cups of milk, but I just used, I had made cottage cheese to make about 4.5 cups of cottage cheese. And I had made it so it was cottage cheese. Then you strain, you add, you can put salt in if you want. You add 2 to 1/4 cup of lemon. I used last time a half a lemon, but you can use vinegar until your milk curdles. You take the curds out, you put those in the blender, and then you add, I only add about 2 tablespoons butter, but it calls for half a cube. Butter is expensive. I'm making this stuff cheap to save money. And then 2 spoons of sour cream. So today I find some of the cheapest and pretty good sour cream is the Walmart sour cream. It's $1.25, this one. And I will cut it and like I did my butter and freeze it. in about 2 tablespoons portions to use when I make this. But you can just use your homemade butter. And then get the salmon ball recipe, and we'll go into that in a minute. Okay, in Norway, they were preparing for a possible war, and the people stockpiled salmon to make salmon balls. And I go, why salmon balls? Well, it turns out these are a little tastier, in my opinion, than patties. All you need is salmon, onion, egg, breadcrumbs, salt, pepper, garlic, and mayonnaise. But you can use your homemade sour cream, or you can use your cream cheese in the freezer and then make balls and fry them. I bake mine. Okay, so that is that. All right, I want to mention these. Okay, so now I want to talk to you about this no meat thing, because for some of us that's really bad. Think about fish, eggs, and cheese, soup and sandwich, Italian, Mexican, hamburger, hot dogs, vegetarian, meatloaf, beans, chicken, and a breakfast meal. This is a good meal plan. You guys start doing some of this, life's going to be much better. All right, we already did that. We did that. Did that. All right, now I want to talk to you guys about food storage. Okay, so the food storage is the same thing as saving money. When you have the funds, stockpile a few cans. Evaporated milk. You can drink it just like milk, or you can use it like cream. If you drink it like milk, it's 1 can of evaporated milk, 1 can of water. Okay, I started buying the better beans for $1. I thought, why wouldn't you buy almost $4 beans for $1 at grocery outlet? And then if you stockpile bacon, you can make some bean and bacon. And then I like to buy these little cups of soup in case I have sandwiches. Also, these are good. I just cook these, and then I put, I cook a couple eggs, and then I have my, my bagels, cream or deviled. I used to drive all the way to Las Vegas, and the first stop I would make is a casino that gave us a free deviled ham sandwich, which was illogical. Then we'd start gambling in there and stay forever. Okay, here's a tomato soup. These are 72 cents when I bought these, but now they're about $1.49. So if you buy the big can of tomatoes, it can almost be cheaper. Salmon, corned beef. I like to just bake my corned beef with potatoes, and then, you know, I eat some mustard on it. Tuna is always a good one. So you're buying 1 or 2 of these cans. Peanuts. Now these are raw peanuts. I am going to try to sprout these. And I'm going to be making some peanut butter. When I make peanut butter, okay, on this one you have to roast 200 on each side. You don't have to. For 10 minutes each, and then blend it in the blender and add a tablespoon of oil. They don't seem to give us so far rice at the pantry. And then I told you guys I try to stockpile grape juice, because you don't think about it when you can drink it anytime you want. One time I had some bottles about that big, and I gave, you know, out here it is awful. The street people are kids, and they came running from every direction with these little dirty cups, and I thought, from the rest of my life I'll always stockpile grape juice. But this food is okay, but with no vegetables. It's like, okay, no vegetables is bad, but so is no meat. And then I bought I was buying six boxes of crackers. But now that I'm going to the food pantry and getting these good bagels, that is no longer necessary. All right. So think about this food pantry I go to. Okay, they gave us hummus. That was one bean. It was 6 small packages of hummus. 1/2 gallon milk, so that was 1 dairy. A vegan sausages, 3/4 pound. So I usually eat a 1/4 pound meat. So that was 3, and a dozen eggs. That was the first week. The second week was sliced turkey, refried beans, 6 beef sticks. So there was on this one. So this was basically 3 meats. They offered eggs and peanut butter. So that week we had 1 bean, the hummus, the dairy, the meat, the peanut butter. So you can learn off of this. So that was a good week. But the next week, which was last week, you saw I had almost $50 worth of food, but it was 1/2 gallon of milk. And so, you know, it was a lot of hearty vegetables and stuff, but no meat. So they said, well, you should get here earlier. And I thought, I don't really want to go really early because since there was no meat, I mean, I got a lot of nice salads and stuff, but since there was not that much meat, there's probably families there. And this week they gave dog food and feminine products. And the week before, there was no feminine products, you know. They were giving out diapers that week. So the thing to do is learn the pantry now. Think about some of these, you know, like frozen sandwiches. Well, we can still get them for $1.25. Free sandwiches, $2 sandwiches from Walmart. Homemade peanut butter. Okay, you guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And God bless you all.